Let me first give you an overview about how promoting WooCommerce products on Pinterest works, right? It's really important to understand that you are navigating two platforms. You have WooCommerce and you have Pinterest. And your Pinterest for WooCommerce strategy really depends on Pinterest product pins. So basically what will happen here is that you will upload your feed, you will publish your products, and basically those products, those posts, they become product pins on Pinterest. And the pins contain information that customers want to know about, such as your product name, description, price, availability, and you need to direct them to your website on click. So basically what you do here is that you have your Pinterest platform, your Pinterest page, if you will, and when customers or potential shoppers, when they click on those pins, they are redirected to your WooCommerce website. It's very important to make sure that you first start on Pinterest and then redirect the customers or potential shoppers to your website. What you have to do here is you need to still engage them on Pinterest though. You can't just like post the pins and just like, go back to my website and just buy whatever stuff I'm just selling. No, you have to have a clear idea of how to engage your followers on Pinterest. Make sure they're satisfied with your interactions on the platform before eventually leaving the platform and going to your WooCommerce website. Okay. Now, when we talk about product pins, they show up organically when people search for relevant keywords on Pinterest, or they are displayed on other ad platforms for Pinterest. And so once a prospect finds your pin, they can click on your pins and see the website links, the title, the buttons, and the prospect gets ideas about your product through these pins. So everything is contained, every information that you want to share with your potential shoppers, you have to share it through the pins. So when they click on the image, they get more detailed information about your products. And if they are convinced enough, they can directly go to your WooCommerce store from the link you provided. Okay, so this ensures that the prospect you get are more potential, as they already got a visualized idea of your product. So if you have a store with 5 to 10 products, it is quite easy to add your products as pins manually. But if you have a WooCommerce store with more than, let's say, 100 products, it really can get really hectic and time consuming. So this is where you want to have like software to sort of automate that part of things. By the way, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate having you here. We're having a short convo about how to boost WooCommerce sales using Pinterest. So it's pretty interesting to sort of analyze how both platforms work. And one thing you need to do here is that you need to set up a free Pinterest business account to get access to analytics on your pins and the ability to run ads. Okay. Now you don't have to run ads necessarily, but it's good to have a Pinterest business account. And if you have never used Pinterest before, or would like to create a business account that is separate from your personal account and uses a different email, you can create a new business account. But otherwise, Pinterest allows you to actually combine both a business account and a personal account using the same email. The thing is that everything is linked at the individual level, right? So you'll have your name. So your business account will also carry your name, your personal name, your first and last name. So it's really important to understand that everything starts with you having the right account. So you can create a new business account. You can create a linked business account. You can actually convert your personal account into a business account. So let me just, I just want to repeat this. There are 3 ways. If you want to actually change your Pinterest into a business account, you can actually create a brand new business account. You can create a linked business account, and you can convert your personal account into a business account. The process is pretty similar. It's pretty straightforward. So if you have to create a new business account, basically what you want to do is you are trying to create a business account that is not connected to any other Pinterest account. So the email you use to sign up must not already be in use on any existing Pinterest account. In other words, you want to choose another email address. Okay. And so once if you want to do this, it's very easy. Go to Pinterest website and you have to click sign up and you have to click create a business account. And you just follow the prompts. They just ask you for email, password, and your age, and then click create account, and you're good to go. If you want to create a linked business account, then what you do here is that when you create a business account that is linked to your personal account, you can easily switch between accounts. So you'll use the same email and password to sign into both accounts, and you can link up to four business accounts to your Pinterest business account. So you must be logged into your personal account to create a linked business account. So this is pretty easy. And the third option here is to convert your personal account into a business account. So basically your pins and followers will actually remain the same. So you can switch back to a personal account at any time. This is really great. Now let me give you the steps. If you're trying to boost WooCommerce store sales using Pinterest, here are the steps you need to follow. But before, I just want to quickly remind you that we're having a conversation about how to actually make more sales on your WooCommerce store through Pinterest, right? This is today's topic. Very important to remember that. So first, you want to set up Pinterest product feed. This is very important. So in order to upload your products, Pinterest merchant comes with specific guidelines. So you need to actually, this is what I was just talking to you earlier about, that you want to engage followers on Pinterest. So everything happens through Pinterest product feed. So your product feed must have certain attributes. So let's just quickly go through them, okay? And there are actually 7 product attributes that you must necessarily have. You must have in all your products. If you want actually Pinterest to take care of you and make sure that they actually display your products the proper way and actually give you the proper exposure that you need, then yes, 7 attributes. I will go through each of them. So by the way, I'm showing you on the screen a sample of a simple CSV template of a Pinterest product feed. So first you have a product ID. So everything starts with the product ID. So this is basically, think of it as the unique identifier of the product, right? So you can use your own product ID or SKU as a value for this attribute. So product ID is quite essential. Then you have the product name. So this is actually the name of your product. So when submitting the title in your Pinterest feed, you must focus on highlighting the core features of the product, right? And in fact, doing the same in your WooCommerce store itself will get more results and SEO rankings than simply naming the product as what it is. So be very careful here. Let me give you an example. Let me just break it down for you. For example, if you are selling a t-shirt from Versace, instead of naming it round neck t-shirt, you want to name it black round neck t-shirt by Versace. Think about that. Think about all the keywords I just inserted in that in that phrase, in that name. Okay, this is not only highlighting the product itself, but also the color and the brand of the t-shirt. So beside the image, this is a great way to grab the attention of the right buyers. So number 1, product ID. Number 2, product name. Number 3, product description. So this will be a quick description of what features the product has and its benefits when it comes to buying the product. So it's best to write an SEO optimized description so that it may rank for more potential search terms. Number 4, we're still having a conversation about how to set up a Pinterest product feed, right? So you have the product URL. So this will simply be the link to your product page where a buyer will be able to place an order for your product. Just make sure that this URL leads to a great landing page, because the whole thing is you have already captivated the viewers or the readers' attention, right? So once they click on that link, when they go to that page you need to set it up as either as a store page, normal product page, or even better, you want to set it up as a landing page with complete CTA, because basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to use this product URL as a lead magnet. Okay, it's all about just attracting those leads and be able later on to convert those leads into actual paying customers. Obviously, that's what you want. So number 4, you have the product URL. Number 5, you have the product image. So you should submit links to a few good images of your product. Make sure they are of high quality. We tell our clients all the time, please, if you are not sure about the quality that you need to have, please just spend money and hire a professional. It will cost you $100, $200. But listen, if you have a store, if you have a WooCommerce store that has, let's say, 10, 20, 50, 100 products, it's worth it to invest in this imagery, because it will pay in the long run. Very important. Now, also think about product price. So this will be the price of your product, and the thing is, don't just put prices like randomly. Try to observe other stores and offer a competitive price, right? People often decide on purchasing the product based on the price. Obviously, WooCommerce is not like a Shopify store or Amazon or Walmart or Etsy or eBay, where folks are trying constantly to look at the price to decide which product to buy. But pricing in general is still important. It's still important. Okay, that really makes the difference between, let's say, a missed opportunity and a converted opportunity, because the whole thing is you want to increase your conversion rates anyway in the long run. I want to talk to you about the seventh attribute. If you remember, I said there are 7 attributes, right? So we have first, product ID. Number 2, product name. Number 3, product description. Number 4, product URL. Number 5, product image. Number 6, we have a product price. Number 7, stock availability. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm still having a convo with you about how to boost WooCommerce stores, the store sales using Pinterest. So when we talk about your Pinterest feed, the required attributes, stock availability is really important. What is it exactly? Because, sometimes people might be confused when we talk about stock availability. Well, stock availability, it's just whatever the name implies, right? Basically, it refers to the stock status of your product. Usually, you may submit the value as in stock. In other words, do you have the product in stock? Because the whole thing is you don't want to piss customers off. People click on your link, they're interested in your product, they actually press buy, and you say, well, I'm out of stock. No, you definitely don't want to do that. So often you may have certain products that are no longer in stock, but you want your buyers to know that you had them in the past. So there are the products that you may upload into Pinterest with an availability value of out of stock or back order. And if you have to choose between out of stock or back order, I think and this is based on our research here, you want to choose back order. This is less harsh than out of stock. Okay, so apart from those attributes, apart from the 7 attributes I spoke to you about, there are some other optional Pinterest feed attributes. For example, like you have things like visuals. You have things like the beta data. Okay, so these attributes help Pinterest better match your products with shoppers. Remember, Pinterest is in the business of helping you match your product with shoppers. And the more attributes you add, the more Pinterest understands your product and who it is intended for. And that's what you want. You want to be in a situation where Pinterest is actually doing the hard work for you. They're basically pushing your data to the targeted audiences, and they're doing it consistently and systematically. So this is what you want. You want to actually be in a situation where, again, the Pinterest algorithm does the work for you. You don't have to do a lot manually. And one thing I need to tell you here is that when you think about all these things, when you think about all the 7 product feed required attributes, make sure that you add the optional attributes to your feed to enhance relevancy, because the algorithm plays an important emphasis on relevancy. So just want to quickly remind you of those 7 product attributes. We have the product ID, the product name, the product description, the product URL, the product image, the product price, and the stock availability. Let me quickly talk to you about one thing that's really important here when it comes to generating a product feed for Pinterest from your from your WooCommerce store. Okay, so basically you have your WooCommerce store, right? And you're trying to generate a product feed for Pinterest. So we're going backward here, right? Because remember, the whole thing is to boost WooCommerce store sales using Pinterest. But you want to go backward by actually going to your WooCommerce store and generating a product feed. And the thing here is that if you're trying to create a successful Pinterest product feed for WooCommerce, you may use a reliable plugin that can help you generate the feed in just a few clicks. Okay, and product feed manager. Product feed manager for WooCommerce is basically a WooCommerce specialized plugin that helps you create perfect product feeds with only 3 clicks. And this is just fantastic. We tried it. It just works fantastically. Let me quickly help you go through all those steps. The thing is that this plugin, the product feed manager for WooCommerce, actually comes with more than 170 plus predefined marketplace feed templates, so you can promote products not only on Pinterest but also on other popular marketplaces such as Google Shopping, eBay, MIP, Idealo, and even on local marketplaces with custom feed data. This is really good. And so first, I just want to quickly walk you through the steps here. First, you want to install and activate the plugin Product Feed Manager for WooCommerce. And now you want to follow the steps on the screen. So on your product feed dashboard, you will find a button that says Add New Feed. When you click the button, it will take you to the feed creation page. Everything is automated, okay? And on this page, you will give a title to your feed. That's the number 1. You select your preferable merchant, and then you have to select your feed type. Okay, this is really fantastic. So I want to show you on the screen that it's really good. One thing I want to say here also is that when you select your feed type, make sure that you double check the product that you are choosing. Very important. Make sure that you're double checking the product you're choosing, and make sure that all of the product feed, the description, the SKU and whatnot, those all match. There must be consistency across the board because Pinterest their algorithm needs clear and precise information to be able to do its job. So I want to talk to you now about the third step. So once you actually click the button and it takes you to the feed creation page, you will see the list of required attributes. Okay, and that list will appear automatically. In other words, you have a long list and you have to choose which one applies to your specific store based on the product you want to push on Pinterest. Please, again, go make sure that you are transparent across all platforms so that if a potential shopper were to leave Pinterest to go to your WooCommerce website and back and forth, there is no sort of like inconsistency. This is really important, okay? And so you want to add. If you want to add, you can actually add any new attribute or any new custom attribute. You can also configure the feed with different filters and settings options. And step number 4, once you're done with configuring the feed, you can click on the Publish button. Okay, and that's it. So this is pretty simple. Your feed will be generated. Again, you can see that this is very easy if you use the right plugin, right? I just want to remind you the name of the plugin is called Product Feed Manager for WooCommerce. One thing I want to say here is that you can see, well, I don't need a plugin because right now my WooCommerce store is kind of small. Okay, if you have a small store, let's say you have less than 10 products, you can do things manually, not a problem. But again, we go back to the origins here when we say, well, if you have a constellation of products, let's say 50 to 100 or 100 to 250 or 1000, you can't do things manually. You got to really maintain your sanity, your personal sanity, right? So you want to automate things. You want to seek help from a tool that can do things for you faster and more effectively and without errors, by the way. So this is why you want to really, but again, it's at the end of the day, it's all about budget versus your expenses. It's all about your risks versus the opportunities. If you're willing to risk big, or you're just willing to just make sure that you have the minimum. So those things are important. Those things really will constitute the bottom line for you when it comes to the kind of tools you need to use, if at all. want to close to this conversation by talking to you about optimizing your Pinterest product feed for a better result. You need to constantly optimize your Pinterest product feed if you're seeking consistent results over the long run. Okay, so there are a couple of things you have to do. One thing first, you need to understand how the whole thing works. Basically, you are trying to see your Pinterest product feed is your source, is the source info you're giving to Pinterest. And based on the product feed, the algorithm at Pinterest will feed your, will actually dispatch your information to the interested parties. In other words, the niche on Pinterest that the algorithm thinks will best love your content. And when the algorithm pushes that data to the interested audiences, and they click on that on the pin that you have, you can redirect them to your website. Okay, this is how things work. So you can do auto updates your feed in certain intervals. You can say, you know what? We know that Pinterest investigates your feed every 24 to 48 hours and notifies you of any changes. If it finds any mistakes while reviewing your feed, then your feed will be rejected. Hence, make sure that you always ensure that your product information is accurate and up to date. And another way to optimize your Pinterest product feed for a better result, make sure that you're optimizing your product title for more engagement, right? Product titles should be engaging enough to convince the pinners to be interested. Hence, please make sure that your titles are as descriptive as possible. You want to include distinguishing features such as brand names, size type, color, gender, and age group in your title. And once you do this, you're able to actually properly niche down your feeds. And the third thing is you want to ensure proper categorization to appear in searches, because a proper categorization makes it a lot easier to find your products and provides a good structure for your Pinterest shopping campaigns. So this is really important. So you can add the Google product category attribute to map your WooCommerce products according to the categories of Google product taxonomy. Okay, you can easily achieve this by using the category mapping feature of the plugin Product Feed Manager for WooCommerce. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about how to boost WooCommerce store sales using Pinterest. So I gave you an overview, and then I gave you the steps you need to follow. Set up Pinterest product feed, generate a product feed for Pinterest for your store, and optimize your Pinterest product feed for a better return. Thank you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.